For almost 30 years, Vollor Law Firm has been winning serious injury and death cases for clients. They have collected millions of dollars on behalf of their clients and belong to the prestigious $1 Million Advocates Forum. When insurance or a wrongdoer won't pay for what they took from you, go with an award-winning firm with a track record of results. At Vollor Law Firm, results matter. Make sure you go with lawyers that have the experience, ability, and financial power to hold those that hurt you accountable. Put your trust in Vollor Law Firm. Give them a call at 662-323-0083.
You're listening to Thunder and Lightning on SuperTalk Mississippi, covering Mississippi State sports like nobody else. With Sports Talk Mississippi's Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk of On3 Sports. Now get ready for Thunder and Lightning.
This is Thunder and Lightning here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Brian Hadad and Robbie Faulk here with you. It's technically a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
This will not be the latest show I don't think we have ever done here on Thunder and Lightning. Me and Joel, 2019 Egg Bowl, we were pretty deep into the morning when we got done.
We did one late.
Omaha.
Omaha.
Yeah.
We did one late after the Super Regional, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it calls for it.
So, thanks for Thunder and Lightning here on SuperTalk. I'm Brian Hadad. He's Robbie Faulk. Thanks for joining us here at SuperTalk.fm or wherever it is that you get podcasts from. We appreciate you guys out there, our great listeners, especially our servicemen and women out there taking care of us. I want to thank our sponsors over at Strange Brew Coffee House and Churn and Spoon Ice Cream. Start your day the right way with a trip to the drive-thru over at Strange Brew Coffee House here in Starkville or at Brupolo over in Tupelo. Be a little weird, Robbie, if Brupolo's in Norfield.
Would be a little weird.
Wherever you are in our great state, you can enjoy Strange Brew Coffee each and every morning. It's just a click away at strangebrewcoffeehouse.com. The Mississippi Beef Council wants to remind you that beef, it is what's for dinner. If you're cooking out this weekend, and you should be, nothing beats the sizzle of beef on the grill. It's a NFL Sunday, so you still got plenty of time to watch football and enjoy some fantastic food. Do it with beef. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Thanks to our friends at the Mississippi Beef Council. College Corner, collegecornerstore.com is the place to find the maroon and white merch, or in some cases black merchandise that you are looking for.
I think that the blackout was done right, and our stores were hit up.
I think both of our sponsors did really, really well today.
Yes.
So that's great to hear. Hopefully you guys definitely hit up College Corner. 2 locations in the Jackson area, Religion by Fleet Feet, Flow by the Half Shell, or you can shop online, collegecornerstore.com. Restaurant Tyler, which will probably be a madhouse for brunch in about 10 hours, is the place to go for Sunday brunch. If you're listening to this and you're still in Starkville, you've got to make a trip to Restaurant Tyler. Don't worry about the line. Don't you worry about that. Just get in line. Get in line and eat the best Sunday brunch in town. It's totally worth the wait. You'll have a great time. Enjoy it. Enjoy a fantastic brunch today at Restaurant Tyler.
That line's going to look like Taco Bell looks like right now. I don't know if you came through on
So I got to Vine Street, and I was just like, "This." I'm like, "No, I'm not dealing with this."
Taco Bell and Cookout.
Yeah,
it's Domino's.
If you come down, because that side of the road is impossible, and it's tough to get over. So I just got on Vine Street and came down. I went through, down Gillespie. And just got around. I can't
imagine what the Cotton District's like right now.
It's got to be a madhouse. Priority One Bank, 16 locations to serve you throughout Central Mississippi. Let PriorityOneBank.com be your guide and show you not only how they're going to help you invest and manage your money, but how they're going to help you prepare for the future. Now more than ever, when you have questions about your money, you need answers. You need to talk to a bank that knows you as well as it knows your money. You need to talk to the good folks at Priority One Bank. Let Priority One Bank make you their priority. I don't know about you, Robbie, but I got about halfway to the stadium and I realized I had a black shirt on. It's like, oh,
I did too.
Yeah, it's like I didn't even think about it. This was the first one hanging up.
I promise. Like, there's gonna be some Ole Miss people that see this. And like, oh, you guys took part. No,
yeah,
we literally just grabbed it.
This was the first polo in the closet. And I was like, all right, it's black. And I got to. I'm driving from my house. I got to. I was by the Methodist church, and I just looked at myself. I was like, oh, you idiot. But whatever.
I think it works.
It works.
It's fine.
Mississippi State 24. Arizona 20. Perhaps of all the Mississippi State things that have ever happened in the history of Mississippi State, this was the least Mississippi Statey. It was absolutely miraculous. It was a game that Mississippi State was in complete control of, then a game that Mississippi State had absolutely no shot in, and somehow walked away with a monumental victory. I don't know what else to say except for tell 'em Faulk. Had to remove the headset there. I knew that was coming.
I took a beating on Twitter. I took a beating, and I'm fine with it. If anybody out there thinks that I took any joy in, and I was going to take any joy in what happened if it went bad, or if I'm upset in how this game played out, I don't know what to tell you, buddy, because all I could say was the reason that I tweeted what I did, the pain incoming tweet, which apparently made Neil Price's call after that. I thought Neil and I were friends, but apparently not. I've seen this movie so many times, Brian. You and I did, and every single
he's still your friend.
And I don't care. I don't care what you people say. You all were thinking the exact same thing I was.
True.
When State was giving up, chunks of yards on that final possession, second to final possession, the 17-play, 95-yard drive, you and I both knew how that movie was going to end. They were going to score a touchdown. State was going to, have a last-ditch effort to try to win the ball game, but the game was over. And then Nick Mitchell happened. And I don't think that Mississippi State wins that ball game without Nick Mitchell in that 3rd and goal from the 1. Mm-hmm. Nick Mitchell sticking his head in there and getting the first lick on that 3rd and goal play. And then Mississippi State getting to stop, forcing a field goal. That, to me, was a defining moment for Mississippi State's defense. A defense that wasn't perfect on Saturday, but I thought played extremely well, especially in the first half in that game, and to have the resolve there at the end to get that stop and not give up on a touchdown there. That last year's team would have never done that.
Right.
And then you have the play of Jeff Lebby's tenure to this point, and one of the great moments in Mississippi State history where Blake Shapen just finds his man, Brennan Thompson. And the way that this game played out, I just couldn't help but think about the poetic justice in this game. It went exactly opposite of what Mississippi State has been about for most of our lives. And I think about it, some of the guys that have taken so much criticism, and I'm not saying that it's completely unwarranted, but Nick Mitchell is a guy that a lot of fans out there, they don't want him on the field. He comes up with 9 tackles in this game, and he makes quite possibly one of the top 2 or 3 plays of the game. Hunter Washington goes and gets an interception and win the ball game for you. That's another guy that people have just kind of crapped on. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying this completely unwarranted. Those guys have not been major standouts for Mississippi State.
But they showed up today.
They showed up today, and it couldn't have been better than for those guys to be some of the guys to make the game-winning plays because they stayed here. Nick Mitchell has been here for 5 years. That doesn't happen anymore. He's never complained. He's never tried to hit the portal. He's never lashed out at people on Twitter. He's just done his work, and he's been a good Bulldog. Yeah. Hunter Washington's been here for 4 years. He transferred from Florida State, and he has paid his dues and done his thing. Isaac Smith to stick around. It was great to hear from him post-game, to stick around and witness a moment like this. And then Brennan Thompson, a lot of people have counted him out. He's too small. I'm not saying people in Mississippi State, but people around the country. He's too small. He's not going to be able to play in this league. 6 catches, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns. Had the 2 biggest plays offensively in this ball game. It was just awesome to see it play out the way that it did. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty by any means. Mississippi State was not good after that big pass play to Brennan Thompson in the second quarter for a touchdown. They were not good until that final possession. And at the end of the day, all that matters is Mississippi State 24, Arizona State 20. I don't think Arizona State is a top 10 team. I don't think they're as good as they were last year. But the perception of this win and the way that it happened and the scene in Starkville this weekend, I don't know if it could have played out better for Mississippi State. And this is kind of the table that you and I set, the possibilities. We back in the summer, and we talked about what if Mississippi State wins the first 2 games? What if they lose one of those 2 games? We went through both possibilities, and we talked about if Mississippi State was able to get an upset over Arizona State, the national narrative on this program is going to change pretty swiftly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's no doubt about it. You feel totally different about this team than you did 2 weeks ago. And everything that's happened, the bad thing that's happened in Mississippi State football for the last 3 years, to me, that's been totally wiped away. You have a clean slate now. Mm-hmm. You have completely changed the narrative of this program, and you've shown that you can do it. You've shown you can win big games. You've shown you can put together great atmospheres again at Davis Wade Stadium. To me, I think Jeff Lebby has cleaned the slate, and now it's all about moving forward. Can this team move forward? I'm not saying they're going to win 8 games. I'm not changing my opinion on that. Mm-hmm. But can they get bowl eligible?
Yeah.
I think that's totally possible this year.
Agreed.
Let's see what happens.
I agree with everything you said. The only thing I don't agree with is you making comments about me talking about McDonald's on your Twitter feed. I was looking at something here.
Is there something to disagree with there? I don't think so.
I think McDonald's is an outstanding choice for late night, or if you're just on the road. The Golden Arches are there for you.
You know what Becky just told me? I was on the phone with her.
Yeah.
She said that I almost shed a tear. They were riding down the road coming back from a birthday party today, and Becky asked her if she wanted to go to McDonald's. Mm-hmm. Becky wanted to go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's what that was about.
Yeah, I get it.
And so me and Becky disagree vehemently on McDonald's.
Yeah.
And Natty said, "No, why would I go to McDonald's? I don't go to McDonald's. I want to go to Wendy's.
I'm gonna get some McDonald's in that kid's system, and
you're not.
You're gonna be in trouble.
I'm gonna call the cops."
Yeah, the football portion of your rant, though, all accurate, very, very accurate, and just it's impossible to overstate. Let me put it like this: it's impossible to overstate what this win could mean for Mississippi State. Right now, it's a great win, and you want to have it, but it's not everything yet, and it can get there. So. This what we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes.
We're going to talk about the atmosphere, right?
Oh yeah.
Do I need to start ranting on that? Okay, I'll wait.
You're good. I got you.
I'll wait.
I got you.
Oh, I'll wait.
These are the things that are true, which is brought to you by our good friends over at Bell Building Supply. Tomorrow would be a great day to have a big green egg. Sit around, watch the NFL, put a pork butt on there early in the morning, or fire that thing all the way up for some awesome steaks. Whatever it is you're looking to cook this weekend, the Big Green Egg is the Cadillac of cookery in your backyard. And if you're looking to get one here in the city of Starkville, you need to talk to the good folks over at Bell Building Supply. They are the Platinum Big Green Egg dealer here for the Golden Triangle. Whatever you're looking for. And it's not just about that, too. Whatever you're doing, if you're cooking out, Bell Building Supply has a great selection of all the grill toys that you want. So go check them out. Go see our buddy Wes at Bell Building Supply this weekend. Next weekend, you can be cooking on that big green egg. I have 9 things that are true.
9 times.
9 times. Here we go. Number 1. That's not the greatest win in Mississippi State history. It may not be the craziest, but it's in the discussion. But I think it may have been the most needed win in Mississippi State history. I tried to come up with a short list of like needed wins. I thought about the ReliaQuest Bowl. After the death of Mike Leach, Mississippi State needed to win that game. They needed to have that catharsis of winning. They had lost that game, that would have been painful. I thought about the 2009 Egg Bowl, Mullen's first year. The year before that, you'd gone to Ole Miss. They had absolutely humiliated you. You came back and you beat them up pretty badly on your own. That was a needed win. I'm sure there's a few others here and there. Mississippi State has been, since the death of Mike Leach, has been down. They've been down. And you could feel the catharsis in the fan base tonight from this. We'll talk more about the atmosphere a little later. But you could feel that people needed this tonight. They needed it. It wasn't a want. It was a need. Mississippi State had to have this game, especially the way it went, right? If State had just lost, or if State had just won, if State had just 17-3 at the half, if State ends up winning this game like 27-10 and they just control it, it's not the same. It's not the same catharsis that you have of, oh my God, this is going to happen to us again, to, oh my God, this never happens to us. And so that moment was.
It almost needed to happen that way.
I'm a believer in that too. Like, we'll get a little big picture here, but like, I tend to believe that things have to be the way they are. Like, if one thing changes, everything changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's somebody out there tonight that wanted to leave the game, and they decided to stay. And if they had left, maybe it doesn't go the same way.Maybe the breath of wind isn't enough to get the ball to Brandon Thompson. I don't know. I've always believed that. So this is one where Mississippi State fans, for the first time in over a year, they can just breathe. They can go to work on church on Sunday wearing their maroon and white. They can go to work on Monday, and as Jackie Sherrill said, put that coffee mug on the end of their desk, and they don't have to have people laughing at them.
Yeah.
You needed that tonight.
And you know what? I think a lot of people have really sympathized with Mississippi State a little bit.
You saw some of that online tonight.
I mean, I think there's Ole Miss fans that have.
Yeah.
That, I mean, have quite frankly felt sorry for Mississippi State. And for Mississippi State, like, you don't want to be in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you never want to be in the position where people feel sorry for you. They pity you.
Right.
But this program has really, really been through a lot of bad stuff since December of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And they have not had a whole lot to be excited about at any point.
Yeah.
The ReliaQuest Bowl, you talked about it. We really felt like that was some catharsis because State fans have been through.
Sorry.
This is proof that Brian is not listening to
I am listening to you. I had a Facebook notification and it pulled up the video I put up.
Sure.
That's what happened. Catharsis.
State
ReliaQuest Bowl. I was listening.
Again, he doesn't care what I'm saying. So, anyway, after that game, I felt like everybody felt like things were moving in the right direction, and then they didn't.
Yeah.
And you have a coaching change before the season even ends. You have a new coach come in here. The program is a mess. The roster was a mess, and Jeff Lebby has never been a head coach before.
Mm-hmm.
Coleman Hutzler has never been a defensive coordinator before. Why would anybody be super confident that this thing was going to turn around? We didn't know when something good was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because last year was the first time that a first-year head coach at Mississippi State had not gotten some kind of marquee win. Even Zach Arnett did at the end of the day, beating Arizona.
Yeah.
This is the first time that Mississippi State just had the coach had never done anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you're in free fall mode, and this fan base didn't know when it was going to end. I felt something this week within this fan base, and that's why I picked Mississippi State in this game, because it just felt like the winds were changing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this might be
that buzz was evident.
It was evident.
Yeah.
And you show up to the game today, and it didn't feel like any home game that you've had since 2018.
It's been a long time since.
It's been a long time. And I think Joe Moorhead versus Dan Mullen, the crowd was just they hated Dan Mullen so badly that day. They wanted to.
That was more about Mullen than Mississippi State.
It was. This was about. I think there was. I told you. I think the fans were just so ticked at Kenny Dillingham.
Dillingham was probably worth about 5,000 people tonight,
and it added a little fuel to it. The fourth quarter when it changed and Arizona State had taken all the momentum, they were about to score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd was, you could see it in their faces when they were showing them on the video board. You could see on their faces how bad they wanted this.
Yeah.
I am so happy for State fans. I was pretty much against the field storm during the week.
It had to happen.
The way that this game played out,
yeah,
it had to happen.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the fans in just a minute. Number two, for as long as there is football at Mississippi State, Brennan Thompson will be remembered. There are just some plays that they're all-time plays at Mississippi State. We came up with some talking about it in the press box. Billy Jackson's fumble recovery in 1980 against Alabama. Excuse me. Don Smith's run against Tennessee is one of those.
Bo Wallace fumbled, picked up
Bo
by
Wallace's fumble.
Jamerson Love.
Dak Prescott's run against LSU. Anthony Johnson's pick 6 against Alabama. This play is in that discussion. It will be in highlight videos as long as Davis Wade Stadium is standing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at those videos they put up every year. That play will be in there every year. So Brennan Thompson always will be remembered. Number 3 is also about Brennan Thompson. I asked Thompson at SEC Media Days, and I won't lie, I had a little bit of a prompt. Going into media days, I didn't know much about Brennan Thompson, right? So I texted Chad Bumpus, and I was like, Bump, what should I ask your guy here? Give me some prompts. And one of the things he said was, ask him if he's the fastest guy in college football. So I did. I said, hey, are you the fastest guy in college football? And he did not hesitate. He's like, yeah, I am. I believe I am. And buddy, I'm believing it. I'm believing in it tonight.
Well,
the speed on both of his touchdowns was elite.
Yeah, the thing about him is he is a incredibly humble guy.
Yes.
And so when he says that, believe him. And he proved it tonight. I mean, they couldn't cover him. And that's why I thought whenever they picked Brennan Thompson up, you look at the numbers and they're pedestrian before he got here, they're pedestrian in terms of he didn't have a large volume of catches.
Mm-hmm.
But the yards per catch shows you there's
something there.
There's some ability there to have explosives. I thought Jeff Lebby bring him in and him being an upperclassman, if you force feed him the ball a little bit, he's got a chance to put up some huge numbers. And 6 catches for 133 tonight, I think that pretty much solidifies that. He's going to have more yards here in the first 4 games probably than he had in his first few seasons combined. So I think that's what you see with this offense. If you get players like that, you get players with speed like Mississippi State has, Anthony Evans and Brennan Thompson, I don't care how big they are.
Yeah.
If you can just get those guys open and you got a quarterback that can deliver them the football, they can do some big things in this offense. So I think a lot of people doubted Chad Bumpus in the offseason, but the day that we saw for Anthony Evans and Brennan Thompson, there's some potential for this group to be really good. Now they have to have a third guy step up. We're not really seeing another guy yet that's stepped up to the plate to be somebody when another team tries to take away those 2 guys. So they need help. And this team has flaws. This team has a lot of flaws. This isn't a college football playoff team. But they find a way to win this one. That says a lot about them.
All right. We've got a first-timer here. Never done before in the history of this show. I have a thing that isn't true.
Oh.
Because it was going to be a thing that was true. It was going to be it. But what I had written down was the offense for the second straight year lost the game. I don't understand I don't know who Arizona State's defensive coordinator is. I'll just tell you, I don't know who it is. But he's got some juju on Jeff Lebby. Because that's 2 years in a row that State cannot run the football on this team.
2.2 yards a rush.
I mean, and I know when you take the sack yardage out, it's different, but it's still not great.
Sack adjusted is 81 yards.
Yeah. Only 17 carries total for Booth and Bothwell, I believe. No carries for Johnny Daniels. That doesn't work. That's something Lebby's got to figure out.
Is it an offensive line issue?
Well, here's what I'm going to get at, and go back to Moorhead and go with Mike Leach, and you hire these guys. These are supposed to be high tempo, explosive offensive guys, and they come to Starkville and they turn into Woody Hayes, and it's like, figure it out. Why can you not run the football? Why can you not? You have the explosive passing plays. Why are you not getting more out of your running game with that? I don't understand. So.
I think a lot of it.
We were 30 seconds away from me. By the way, we were 30 seconds away from this show having a much darker tone. Much darker. It would have been tomorrow. Wouldn't be recording it right now either.
We would have waited till tomorrow.
Yeah, but
I think
they've got to figure that out.
I think there's not a whole lot of running room for these backs right now. I think it's this.
I think part of this, the offensive line is trying to figure it out. They had to go with a new guy tonight.
It is, and Pass Pro was excellent. I thought.
I thought that the sacks that State had were Shapen's fault.
They were. He held on to it too long.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see the blocking grades in this game.
Javen James didn't even dress last week. Didn't travel to USM. He started the whole game.
Played really well.
Played well, I thought. I mean, that's a guy. this is 2 weeks in a row now where State has had a guy that I had zero expectation from that I thought played well. DJ Reed last week, and he played okay tonight too. Uh, and then this week, Javen James. Who before this game, who was thinking Javen James? Nobody.
Nobody.
So
yeah, and obviously you have Blake Steen is hurt, and I
Yeah.
don't know how long he's going to be out. He's in a sling.
mhm.
Jimothy Lewis was available for the game, but I just don't think they feel comfortable with him right now from a schematic standpoint, and he's not fully healthy. He was available, but they just didn't feel comfortable putting him out there. These next couple of weeks, I think, will be good for State to try to get some of these guys healthy.
Yeah, I agree.
But the offensive line, I think, has a chance when they eventually gel, and
they will.
They have to get 5 guys that they feel comfortable with. They can
They're
play
getting 5
together.
guys.
No, I wish.
Oh man, I wish.
They have to get 5 players that they feel comfortable putting on the field that they can gel, because the in and out of the tackle spots right now
Mhm.
is just that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, the running game's got to get better. 2.2 yards a carry.
It's not
And
getting it
your
done.
running backs averaged about 4.
Yeah,
Fluff and Davon had about 4 yards a carry, which
got-
isn't terrible.
but you got to figure the way you can't have just 17 carries for those 2 guys.
No.
They need to double that number.
Well, I mean, it was kind of hard for them to they
Yeah.
were stuffing the run.
I agree.
They need to.
But you got to find some ways to get them outside. Let them give them some
Doesn't it
width.
feel like it would be easier for them to develop more explosive plays on running outside?
I think it would, but
There's just not room in the inside right now.
Right now there's not. Number 5, and you and I talked about this a good bit up in the press box. The difference in the defense is real. It's a really noticeable. How many times they had guys in position? Last year there were guys you would bounce and run outside and there's nobody there, and you just take off running. You'd get through the first level of the defense and the linebackers wouldn't be there. And now you've got guys flying to the football. You got guys in position to make tackles. Yeah, in the second half they got gassed because the offense could not stay on the field.
Mhm.
And they did all they could, but they're just 100 times better. 100 times better. They need Will Whitson back. He's the real difference maker, I think.
4 tackles.
Will Whitson.
2 tackles for loss. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's had 2 tackles for loss and another sack. This guy's an all SEC.
At the rate he's
California.
going, yeah, got to get him back. They don't need him next week.
But this was a little bit of an issue for him at Coastal.
Yeah.
Was injuries. But I saw some things from Malik Silla.
Mhm.
I saw some Travion
Calvin
Williams
Dinkins.
had some good moments. Calvin Dinkins was really good.
Jalen Smith is a good player. Nick Mitchell,
I mean,
you mentioned.
And
And-
Deontay Anderson had an amazing
Kelly
play.
Jones probably made a little money tonight. Like when he was on Jordan Tyson couldn't get open.
I don't remember.
It was later in
Many
the game
catches.
they started moving him around, and State did not do what I suggested, which was just follow him.
6 tackles and a breakup.
It had a good game.
Yeah. The biggest sign to me that this is not your Mississippi State defense from last year,
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Smith 2 weeks in a row is not leading the team in tackles.
Mhm.
You don't want that, I don't think.
No.
Like I think you want Isaac involved in the plays, and he still had a decent game. He had 8 tackles, but I want to see other people making those plays. Jerron Manning and Nick Mitchell led the team with 9 tackles, and you look and you have several guys that I can point to that made big plays in this game.
Mm.
And it's a totally different looking defense. They get to the ball quicker.
Mhm.
They finish plays better. They had some
The
missed
gang
tackles.
tackle.
They gang tackle. They close. Their closing speed is so much better this year, and just finishing plays. I mean, how many times did they just get run over last year?
Yeah.
Especially against Arizona State. So I thought, and this defense looked totally different from last week too. I think if you look back at the Southern game, you'll find they were fairly vanilla in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we saw a lot more blitzes dialed up. They got after Sam Levitt. Hey, the game plan on Sam Levitt was great.
Great play,
10
yeah.
of 22 for 82 yards,
He did not play well.
25 yards rushing.
He
I
really
mean,
didn't play well in either game against Mississippi
He didn't,
State. So.
but he didn't have Cam Scatterboot.
Well, you said that, but their running game was good tonight. In the second half,
It was good,
that's when
but
took over.
it was the second half.
Yeah. So, all right. Number 6. Everybody's going to remember the touchdown, as they should. Tremendous play. The goal line stand is where you win the game. And, you and I think I said it for sure, but, you have that moment where they break the long run and you just think, man, let him score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only way you're going to, they're going to run the clock out here.
That's why you don't.
And that's why you don't. Mississippi State makes an incredible goal line stand, forces a field goal, and sets themselves up to have a chance to win, and which they did. And that is, if you want to have a lot of people like to take life lessons from football, that there's a never give up kind of, don't let anybody do anything kind of moment there. And that's a big play. You mentioned Nick Mitchell. He had a big part of that.
So pumped for him.
So good stuff. Number 7. Here you go, Robbie. We'll get these 2 in here. I'm gonna switch these around. I had these in at 7 and 8, but I want to do 8 first. Right? Get to a voice I enjoy doing too. Oh, y'all remember when we needed to focus on wins and not lights? Oh, I remember.
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Pepperidge Farms members. 1-0 with LED lights. And that's number 7 or number 8, I guess now. The fans made a difference. I got to the state. Robbie, you were on the field, I think, looking at recruits or doing whatever. Not like that. Not like that.
I was not.
Don't you go down there and check and see who's there, who's visiting?
Well, yeah, I did, but
you're not.
You made it sound like I was going to the bathroom.
You're not portering people there. No,
I definitely wasn't that.
No,
I was just looking to see who's there.
Yeah, I'm in the press box an hour plus before the game. Student section was pretty full early. And I want to give a big shout out to the students here at Mississippi State. For the last 3 years, you guys have shown up to these games. Even when the regular crowd hasn't, the student section has been packed, and you guys deserve respect. But I remember just looking around, and I went over to talk to Joel Coleman, and I was like, man, you and I have been to a lot of games in this stadium. And, this stadium is not half full right this second. It's really loud in here. It's louder. It's loud like it's full loud just from the cowbells. I took a moment to look at the student section during one time when the cowbells were ringing, and it looked like 95% of the student section had a cowbell.
Yeah.
The stadium, I don't, did they announce an attendance? I don't even know what it was. Did you look?
I'm going to say around 50.
Let's see if we can
There were a lot of empty seats, but the biggest thing was just the energy. I mean, if you couldn't have played tonight and not come away and been your ears ringing and you having a
I was legit concerned about doing this podcast. I don't know if we're gonna be able to hear to do it. I want to see what they I'm sure they announced the attendance on here somewhere.
There was a sign that said the devil ain't welcome in the Bible Belt.
That's really funny. Attendance was 50,808. I can buy that number. That's a reasonable number.
For a team that was 2-10 last year.
Yeah, exactly. The lights, the atmosphere, the music. I know they're still working on the audio. It's gonna be next year. Just get over it. It's what's gonna be. I think one thing I think we at this point we can agree on is that we're going to trust Zach Selman to get that fixed.
Well, and they told us as much at the media thing. They said these are totally temporary.
Yeah, it's
like these giant subwoofers. If you're down closer to the field, the sound clarity is pretty strong. It's very loud.
It's just when you get up where we are,
we can't hear anything.
But that's fine. I'll get over it.
We know that they're working on it.
At this point,
massive.
They have trust with me. They have trust. But the crowd was a huge, and it rattled Levitt. It rattled. They had a couple of penalties for sure that were caused by the crowd. The ringing responsibly probably didn't happen as much as you would like it to, but I think nobody cares.
Which in non-conference games, at least it used to be, there's no rule.
And then the main thing to remember, the field storming, you and I talked about it last week. We said, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I definitely didn't want to talk about it ahead of time. But in the moment when it happened, but I didn't even realize it had happened, by the way.
The field storm?
So I
didn't either.
We wrap up games. I tweet out the thing, and I'm getting my post game show ready. Right, I gotta fill out all the stuff on YouTube, and so it's good to go. And then I go down and talk to. I was gonna go talk to Joel and Logan, but they were already gone. And so I see Lance Pardue and John Sweeney, and I said something to them. And then I look up and I realize the field is stormed. And so that's
full of people.
And the LED lights with the maroon. It looked incredible. It was an incredible look. So If you were in the crowd tonight, big shout out to you for sure.
And is this where I can talk about the lights and everything?
You
You
want?
said you had another quote.
Well, I said that's what I said. I said, do you remember when we didn't need to talk about lights?
The only thing I wanted to say about it is not to like needle these people, but
to needle.
I just want these people to understand why we were so adamant that Mississippi State had to change the game day atmosphere. If you go back to last year, and did they play a night game last year? Maybe the first game.
The first game was a night game.
Yeah.
And then
that game up against what you saw against Arizona State. And the way that the atmosphere played out with the lights and the laser show and the fireworks.
Start of the second quarter or something when it finally gotten dark enough and they hit the lights and it went dark and the crowd popped.
And they hit Crazy Train.
Everybody's going nuts.
Fantastic. It might sound silly to you, and people have made those comments before, like, "Ooh, lights." That might sound silly to you, but it absolutely makes a difference.
Yeah.
And if you were in that atmosphere on Saturday, which to me was a top 5 atmosphere probably that I've been involved in at Mississippi State, if you were in that and didn't come away at any point in that game having some goosebumps or being impressed with the atmosphere, or you didn't think that it did something to provide some juice to this crowd, you're just denying. You're in denial at this point.
You're just wrong.
So the investment that Zach Selman, and I had last year, Zach and I, we had a few conversations about this, and
we butted heads a little bit.
He presented different points, and I presented different points. And for him, I think at first it was we're going into this new world of revenue share and NIL and all this. We have to be prepared for that. And I don't know if it's the smart business to do this. And my thoughts on that was always, you have to make an investment in this football stadium that's going to bring it up to scale, up to at least a portion of the SEC, that's going to be able to propel you further now into this new era. You got to have both. You've got to be able to showcase something at your stadium that's going to be able to sell it to recruits. And leaving the ballpark tonight, knowing that you had recruits in basketball, women's basketball, baseball, golf, I don't know who all was there, plus the guys that you had there for football. Had State lost that game, it was a needle mover for you in different sports.
Yeah.
Because they saw the fan base on display. They saw Mississippi State putting a product out that has caught them up into the new millennium. That is, to me, why the $9 million they spent on that stadium was worth every penny.
I agree.
And it had to be there. So shout out to Zach Selman and his staff, everybody involved. Spencer for the work that he's done, and I know he's put in a ton of work in trying to elevate the atmosphere. I thought it was darn near perfect for every capability that you have. Of course, the sound's got to get better, but it was just fantastic. The fireworks, the lights, the crowd, it was just unbelievable. And it's going to pay off in a big way for Mississippi State now moving forward. I think, and I've said this for a while, like if State could just show, you're kind of tapped out in recruiting until you show it.
Yeah.
I think players have been taking a wait-and-see approach.
Yeah.
I think that if Mississippi State continues to make progress this year, this recruiting class they have right now is going to look totally different.
Turn around. All right. Well, I'm interested to see that. I got one last one here. Number 9. This win can't be the highlight of the season. We can't look back at the end of November and go, well, remember when they beat Arizona State? There needs to be more. All right. You put yourself in the path. You're on the road to win a bowl game, to go to a bowl game now, right? You should be 4-0. You should be 4-0. I said,
cannot mess up in either one.
Cannot mess up. Not going to mess up against Alcorn. Never been a better scheduled game in the world than this Alcorn game. Talk about if they were playing Northern Illinois next week, I would be concerned because I feel like that's going to be tough to come back from. Alcorn's a little different. You don't have to worry about that. Northern Illinois, Scrub off all the stink of Toledo, beat them. You're 4-0. I've been saying for the past few weeks, if State's 4-0, I'm going to predict them to go 5-0 and beat Tennessee. Then you got a lot of options, right? All of a sudden, Florida Gators don't look too fearsome, right? We don't know what's going to happen with Texas A&M. Marcel Reed went down today. I don't know if he's going to be out for a while. I don't know what the situation is there. I'm just going to throw this out there just for the hell of it. Texas doesn't look like a bunch of world beaters, And then, I mean, Ole Miss has got some issues. Like Austin Simmons keeps giving the ball away. Their offensive line is not great. They're very good defensively, and I like Kejuan Lacey. I think he's a really good back, but they're not world beaters by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying there's some opportunities.
But you know what? That is what's so amazing about college football.
Mm-hmm.
Is the moment you start to have a night like this, and this is why it's satisfying.
You start
you're
playing out these scenarios.
When you're a Mississippi State fan that is used to the last couple of years, like everything's just doom and gloom.
Yeah,
people have criticized us for being too negative. I promise you, nobody wants to be more positive than us.
Yeah,
but that's what's so great about nights like tonight. Is that you can sit here and you have people sitting around talking to their friends, and they are literally just
talk themselves into the college football playoff.
Exactly what you just did.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about it. And you know what? You're not entirely wrong.
Right.
Because I've looked at some of these teams the same way that you have, and I don't see anybody out there that's just unbeatable.
Exactly.
So that's what's great about this in this new era of football. For all its faults, all it takes is one team, one roster turnover, to have a season like Arizona State had last year.
Yeah,
nobody was thinking when they beat Mississippi State in week 2, there wasn't a single team out there or fan out there that was thinking this is a college football playoff team.
Right.
And I'm not saying that about Mississippi State. I'm just talking about hope in general, and that's been my message since week 1. How long can you stretch this hope out if you're a Mississippi State fan? You've gotten through 2 weeks, and there's still a lot of hope.
Yeah.
And that has been what has eluded Mississippi State for the last 2 years. There's been no hope. There hasn't been many weeks where you're sitting there going, if we do this, we could.
Yeah.
There hasn't
you haven't been able
there.
to play that scenario.
But for Mississippi State, this is the scenario that we talked about that was best case for them. It's starting.
Yeah, they could start
4-0. If you don't screw up these next 2 weeks, which they shouldn't, and I knock on wood, they shouldn't. But if you don't, boy, what's that? This atmosphere was great. What's Tennessee?
We have 10,000 more people.
I mean, you're looking at a possible hard sellout.
Yeah,
but that's
where you are.
Quickly things can shift for you.
And
the whole thought process last year that Mississippi State's dead and buried.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist in this era if you're doing it right.
The other side of that coin is about how quickly things can shift. 60 seconds left to go in the game. Is Jeff Lebby ever going to figure this out? Is he actually
fire Lebby on our board?
Is he actually a good coach? What is he doing? Does he know what he's doing? This team isn't going anywhere. 30 seconds later of game time.
30 seconds.
You're off and running. I mean, that's how quick it is. Real quick before we go to the break here, I'll Venmo you. Don't look, $100 if you can guess the umpire's name tonight.
No clue.
Okay.
I didn't even recognize the crew, really.
They're a Big 12 crew. Roscoe Meisenheimer. That's an all-time name. Great. Not Roscoe either. Not Roscoe. Roscoe.
That guy is the villain on he's like the guy on Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, he's a kid show villain.
Yes.
Like he and Dr. Doofenshmirtz are friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll call Roscoe Meisenheimer. He'll put Perry the Platypus away. That's what just happened there. All right,
the referees had some
tough moments, but you know what? That's just part of the pageantry of college football at this point.
Yeah.
The refs suck. Let's move into the last part of the show. That's brought to you by our friends over at Two Brothers Smoke Meats in the heart of the Con District. One of our great listeners, our buddy Sarthak Sharma, hit us up, said he went to Two Brothers. That's where Robbie was making fun of my McDonald's stuff But that's fine.
Correct.
I can live with that
correct.
as long as good people are eating at Two Brothers. I'm sure Two Brothers was packed all weekend long, and I believe our buddy. Let me double check something here. We may have had another friend that was there. Let me.
Cotton District, I heard, was just absolutely unbelievable starting on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And it's about time. Like those guys have struggled the last couple football seasons.
I was told that the cover at the landing was $30 on Friday. I was like, good. Like I want to see it keep going up.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. All of these places. I want Two Brothers packed. I want you having to wait 30 minutes for a table at Two Brothers.
Yep.
On a Friday night. That's what we want. Guys, enjoy some great food. To go to our friends at Two Brothers Smoke Meats and the Older Brother. Great products, great service. It's going to be a big one. Every business likes to promise it to you. They deliver it to you at Advantage Business Systems. That's what they've been doing for 50 years. Like a banshee.
How are we going to sleep tonight, Brian?
I'm going to sleep quite well as soon as we wrap all this up. If you're looking for a new copier, a new printer, you're looking for new computers, new laptops, they've got them at Advantage Business Systems. But more importantly, they've got your back after the sale. Something goes wrong, you can trust on them to call. When you call, they're going to answer, and they're going to be able to solve your problems a lot of times the same day. Why? Because they're in Mississippi just like you. 601-362-9192 or visit them online, absms.com. Find out how Advantage Business Systems will help your business do business. You mentioned it earlier, Robbie, that I had at least 5 people tell me they used Thunder 15 this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
At Maroon & Co. And I think you probably had a similar number as well. And
I don't think White's complaining about it.
Yeah.
Because I think he had a really good weekend, too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Maroon & Co. was indeed the place that people went before
I heard
they went.
People went in there, and they said the place was about wiped out.
Yeah, I mean.
This weekend, like, they were taking all the inventory off the shelf.
Good.
I saw a guy in the crowd with a Maroon & Company hat on.
Yeah.
The word's spreading, brother.
That's great news. If you're going to be in Starkville this weekend for the Alcorn game and you need to get some MSU gear, I promise they'll be restocked by the time you get there. So go see our friends at Maroon & Co. and use our promo code to save yourself some money. Thunder15 takes 15% off the regular price. Some exclusions do apply. Our buddy Ryan Sparks texted me. He's like, I bought my wife some stuff there. No exclusions applied. It's like,
Did you get a fist bump, a virtual fist bump?
I did not. Oh, he had to send me that. I'll make sure I get that. Yes, before you go to the next game at Davis Wade Stadium, make sure you go to Maroon & Co. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, I wouldn't work out in the yard tomorrow. I would sleep in. But if you got to do it, I hope you've made a trip to Saltillo to see our friends at Scruggs Farm, Lawn, and Garden. By the way, that's a good Bulldog-owned business. I want to point that out to you. Their guy Jonathan was at the game tonight. He texted me. He's like, "It's hot." So he said it's hot and it's loud. It's like, you're correct.
It was that. It feels great outside.
It's just fantastic, yeah. And that means working out in the yard maybe not so painful for you. So make it really easy on yourself with some John Deere power. From the simplest push mower to the compact and commercial mowers and tractors that they put out there, no matter how big your yard is, John Deere Green will get it looking its absolute best.
On a hot summer night.
So go see our friends at Scruggs Farm, Lawn, and Garden in Saltillo. They have what you want for less. That was a very crucial win for Mississippi State. You could go so far as to say it was important. Let's talk about something else that's important.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Coffee is for closers. I already did Strangebury, didn't I? I did it at the beginning. We were at Northfield. I did it. It's I got it right.
Yeah, I was so proud of you last week.
I got it. Yeah,
got a hitch.
Tonight is not the right night.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's 1:33 a.m.
Look, we've already done the that'll be a little weird.
Yeah.
Let's just
StrangeburyCoffeehouse.com. For State, the fourth down decision to go for it from around midfield, you got to punt the ball there. You got to punt, and your defense has played well all night. You got to punt there, and you can't go for it there. And I just didn't agree with that call. I thought they had the whole scenario of first off, I thought the second down run, I thought that was a first down. I thought it was a really bad spot. Then you have 3rd and 1, then you jump, it's 3rd and 6.
got a bit more discipline.
Then they should have called offsides on Arizona State. He was clearly offsides, but whatever. You got to you can't go for it there. You got to punt. I didn't agree with that decision.
The good news for me with Mississippi State is like there are so many issues like that they've had the first 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and they're 2-0.
Yeah, that's great.
So, I mean
If you fix those issues, all of a sudden you got something.
that's right.
Not a lot of debate here in the SEC as to today's loser, the Florida Gators. You know, if you listen to this podcast, you know two things are true. Another two things that are true. That I'm wrong a lot. I am. I just, if I could get them all right, I'd be a rich man, and I'm not. But sometimes I am right. And when I'm right and I'm convinced that I'm right.
When you're right, you're right.
When I'm right, I'm right. And I am right about Billy Napier. He's already out the door. So Florida loses to South Florida today in a game where I missed this, but apparently they had a chance to get off the field and they would have probably been able to run out the clock and win the game. But one of their defensive players spits on a good week for spit. Big week for the
spitting on people.
I don't know.
So that play was, I mean, it was unnecessary anyway. But had they just
got off the field,
they would have
won the game.
Oh,
that's what I believe. That's correct. I need to double check that.
Oh,
now Florida sits at 1-1. Robbie, here's their schedule for the next 4 weeks: at LSU, at Miami, off week.
Oh,
Texas at home, at Texas A&M. There's a very strong chance, Robbie, that when Mississippi State arrives in Gainesville on October the 18th, that the Florida Gators are sitting at 1-5.
And they got to play the Bulldogs too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not a good spot for them to be in.
Yeah, I think you and I neither one of us have been sold on Billy Napier. I thought he might make it through this year.
You want a hot take? You want it? You know what I love, Robbie, more than almost anything else is firing people on a bye week. Well, the week after they play Mississippi State is a bye week. I'm calling it now. October 18th is Billy Napier's last game in Gainesville.
We just need State to actually win that game.
They win it, and he's out.
They got destroyed by Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, and then they fired him.
He fired, and then Gus Malzahn, same thing.
Yeah.
They need to actually win.
They need to get back to the old ways.
The Crooms.
Yes. For the national, yeah. For the national one, again, you got levied. It was intentional. The people in this building wanted to levy.
He had a little juice to him tonight.
I'm sure he did. He damn well better have. For the national one, what an embarrassment Oklahoma State is. This is outrageous. When Texas and Oklahoma left the Big 12, I think you and I both were like, okay, Oklahoma State's time to shine. They should be in the playoff every year now. Instead, they finished dead last, and then they go up to play Oregon today. Oklahoma State is not a group of 5 team. They're not an FCS team. They lose to Oregon 69
Not nice.
to 3.
So you said that Borky called this a lock, right?
They were a 27.5 point underdog, and he said it's a lock. Give the points. So he's right.
Yeah. So I did not know they were this bad.
They're this bad.
I give credit to Borky for being on top of that.
By the way,
I had no idea they were this bad.
Shut it down. They didn't score in the fourth quarter. They scored 20, 21, 28, and then shut it down.
Well,
so this could have been a 100-point game.
I was told pregame, my friend Brandon Ezel was telling me I think he bet on this game, and he was telling me like the reason he bet
was
Oregon was because there were comments made pregame.
From this is 2 years in a row. Gundy
about like the NIL.
This is situation. 2 years in a row where somebody has tried to come at Oregon, and Oregon has embarrassed them.
When you
don't do that to Oregon,
and when you make those comments like about they just got more money than us or whatever,
you're a loser.
I just imagine you're already setting the stage for your team to lose.
You're a loser.
Yeah.
People who whine and complain about NIL. It's one thing. I think that it's one thing when Huff does it down at Southern because look. He's in a situation where his school is not going to have the same NIL that State has. It's just not. You are Oklahoma State. I mean, it wasn't 10, 20 years ago that T. Boone Bookins showed up. I know he's passed away, and got your program going through money. And you weren't complaining about it then. So I'm going to say the same thing to you that I'm going to say to these Alabama people who are like, well, blah, blah. it smells like broken here.
Yeah.
Get your cash up.
Alabama complaining about that of all people. I do not want to hear that.
I don't want to hear that. But this is
But you know what I was talking about,
Gundy's
like,
got to be done. He'll be done at the end of the year.
with Gundy, like what he made those comments. I think that Dillingham was setting his team up for excuses.
Oh, you think?
When we was talking about we got to stay an hour and 15 minutes away, the cowbells are loud, they're hurting my head. Like I just feel like the whole week he knew that this was going to be a tough game for them, and he needed to set the tone so his fan base knew that they had to play in front of the cowbells, they had to travel a long way, all that stuff. So they might have eaten something to upset their tummies.
Whatever. One more. The rare fourth no coffee. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Justin Strawn, I hope you're listening.
You just wanted to throw this.
I wanted to throw this in. Did you see what happened?
The Dodgers?
The Dodgers were up 3-0 going into the bottom of the ninth in Baltimore
Tonight.
Their pitcher, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, pitches 8 2/3 no-hit innings. Orioles break up the no-hitter with a solo home run, and then they walked them off. They were 1 out away from a 3-0 no-hit win, and they got walked off, and they lost. The Giants, they lost. I know. It's not about that. I'm going to give no coffee to the Dodgers, though, just because I can.
I would simply turn to dust.
Yeah, that's a rough one. All right. Tomorrow's show, which will technically be, Tuesday's show, we'll recap what Jeff Lebby has to say. We'll have the sign. And, of course, we'll have our SEC picks. Robbie, one up on me now.
Yes, sir.
The Oklahoma Sooners gave him that margin of victory.
I do not believe in the Michigan Wolverines.
I don't either, but I didn't believe in Oklahoma. I still don't really believe in Oklahoma, just for the point. I just want to make that point. But they didn't win.
Pierre is a really good player.
He's good. He's got some
and
talent.
Their defense seems to be solid.
That's a game that Ole Miss should be worried about when they get to know him.
Yes, that is a game that I think Ole Miss could very much lose.
We'll see. It's 1:41 in the morning here on a Sunday. It'll probably be 2:15 or so before all this gets uploaded. If you guys are still up listening, God bless you. If not, we'll talk to you again soon. For Robbie Faulk, I'm Brian Hadad. Thanks for listening to Thunder and Lightning here on Super Talk, Mississippi.